Hello and welcome to Back on Track with Monster, episode 1. So I'm going to play you what I've got and then we'll come back and have a talk about how I hope that this song will evolve and some of the difficulties that I'm facing in actually getting this one finished. Okay. So I want to create a sense of space with this one. I think it's quite a big sound deliberately, and it's one of the few times when I've ventured into trying to generate a reasonably live like drum sound. That's the main core of the song, the main rhythm, I guess. It says G Spanish Phrygian going into D harmonic minor. They're actually the same key. The same notes exist in both of those keys, but when it switches sections, it feels like it's in a different key, and so I've actually notated it differently. I've ummed and ahed about whether or not there's really any significance. You are literally playing the same 7 scalar notes, but it definitely feels like it switches from a G center to a D center, and I play different, and particularly when I've got the guitar around my neck, I am definitely treating the instrument differently when they're in those 2 scales. So that's an interesting thing to note, that if you discover that even though you're still in the same 7-note diatonic structure, if you feel now that you've moved to a different location and you're playing there instead, then absolutely notate it as that and orient your brain in that different direction as well, because D harmonic minor does not sound the same as G Spanish Phrygian, even though they contain the same notes. That's the whole point of the modal structure, that every time you change modes around a key center, you get a different sound. They might contain the same notes, but they are not the same thing. So the backbone of this song is very much guitar laden. Let's have a listen to the different lines. Here's the first one. I do love the harmonic minor scale, it's beautiful. Or Spanish Phrygian. Second one. Very much in doubt as to whether or not that's an embryo idea. As you can see, it doesn't appear anywhere else in the song. So I've got this melody idea that's essentially what the vocals would want to do, or very close to it. And I'm toying at the moment with whether or not it's in or out. At the moment it's muted when the song gets played, but I wanted to play it to you because that's one of the motifs that I'm toying with. There's something about it that I like. Really sad. It's a really sad tune. So that's the 2 of them together now. So you can see musically it's very sparse, and that will need to be filled out once I've got the vocals in place. Once I've got the vocals in place, I'll figure out what more music needs to be there, but I'm very reluctant to put any more down because I've got the melody fully formed in my head. It's this MIDI line here that's muted. But it's a horrible sound. I'm not going to actually impose it on you. So I've got the melody line. I know what I want. I need to get Pauline to sing them. And then we can start worrying about the music underneath. What are going to be the pad sounds, or maybe a piano or a Rhodes? I'm not quite sure. But in terms of the structure, those guitars have a strong signature to them, so I want them to always be at the fore of all of the musical ideas. A bit further on, we've got this theme. Drums are starting to pick up pace now. So we've had a very, very slow, almost sedentary start to the song, and now I want it to pick up. And at this point, we have yet another step up, with the drums really becoming very active now. Around this section, we've also got this rotary guitar sound. So this was in the days before I went into the box. This like guitar sound was actually recorded live using this sound. Using a combination of my GT100 down here. I think I had a Fender Twin amp with the rotary setup. To be absolutely honest with you, I can't remember exactly how I got this sound, but it's gorgeous and I need to keep it. So again, it's one of those things that everything else is going to have to wrap itself around this, because I can't recreate this sound now. I'm fully in the box these days. Gorgeous sound. Later on we get the distorted guitar solo again. I believe this is recorded live. Yeah, so this was my one ever recording of a microphone sat in front of my my Fender Twin. Now, because there's so much wrong with that sound, with the delay baked in, reverb, natural acoustics of this room, I don't know whether or not it's going to survive. I like the vibe, but there's an awful lot to go at here. So this is one of these songs where musically, you know, I'm thinking I'm quite near the end of the journey of writing notes for it. And I've got the lyrics, which is very rare, you know, ready to slap on top once I can get those recorded. But there's so much work to be done. I wanted to get this one done as episode 1 so that I can see what that progress is, because there are a million decision points in this song how I'm going to do stuff, and particularly a large part of those problems arise from the fact that I'm working with live guitars that I no longer have access to those sounds. So do I keep them or do I try to re-record them? I don't know. Anyway, there we go, Monster. Version 1, just basically an instrumental piece at the moment with more ideas in my head than I can really express to you, because I don't have the tools to really describe those kinds of things. And we're going to see where it goes. If you subscribe to my channel and hit notifications, then you'll find out when episode 2 comes out and all the other stuff that I do. In the meantime, thanks very much for watching. I'll see you next time.